So many professionals I have spoken to have told me that they found GIS and geography along the way and changed majors. Working as a community, secondary school teachers, GIS professionals, and academics can create pathways to the career that are more visible and accessible to students. No. Okay. My name is Daniel Whalen. I have a bachelor's in history from SUNY Albany and a master's in school leadership and administration from the George Washington University. I really love learning and teaching about geography. I've taught geography for 12 years and GIS as a CTE teacher for about 3 years. Career and technical education programs of study provide the opportunity for students to earn industry recognized certificates, acquire college credit, and gain work experience. Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness is one of 33 CTE programs recognized by the Maryland State Department of Education, and the only one with the GIS component. Students who complete these classes with an 80% average and enroll at Frederick Community College will be granted 6 advanced credit hours. So about half of Maryland's school districts have a Homeland Security program. Prince George's County has 7 schools with a Homeland Security program, and Parkdale is the only one that had GIS. The major outcomes for the GIS program is the students will create a cartographic brief, that's a map app or a story map, as part of a Capstone project. Students will take the ArcGIS for desktop entry-level exam, and students will have a paid work experience. It's definitely the most challenging area to accomplish. In order to prepare for the ESRI exam, students completed these training web courses and exercises from the text Getting to Know ArcGIS. Numbers 1 through 5 on the left were designed by ESRI for high school students. The remaining modules are designed for working professionals. Students also gain certifications through FEMA Independent Study website, which is free. Combined, these certificates qualify students for 3 credits from Frederick Community College at a cost of $88 per credit, transferable through the Emergency Management Study website. Working with higher education and industry partners, I developed a capstone project for these GIS students. It is inspired in part on the portfolio requirements for precursor GIS training programs for high school students, the expectations of the ArcGIS for Schools contest, and Homeland Security mission areas. During the 2016-17 school year, the Maryland Geographic Alliance coordinated ESRI's ArcGIS Online for Schools contest in the state of Maryland. In this photo, 4 contest winners from Parkdale are being recognized. During the 2018-2019 school year, the Maryland State Geographic Information Committee coordinated the contest. Contest administrators provided students feedback on how to improve their project before contest deadlines. If you'd like to take a look at some cartographic briefs, you can see a link there, a tiny URL, that will take you to a page where you can see the most recent ones. The University of Maryland's Geography Department was a major support in this endeavor. They were very close by, just about 3 miles away from Parkdale High School. Their briefs are very impressive. The fly in the ointment, Maryland has identified ESRI's ArcGIS desktop entry certification exam as the culminating certification. The ESRI test description above demonstrates how problematic this certification is as a quality measure. Qualified candidates should have less than 2 years of applied experience and should be proficient in best practices and uses of ESRI's ArcGIS technologies. So this is something for people who have bachelor's degrees in GIS or at least an associate's in GIS and who have been working for at least a year part-time. So if you're working for a year part-time and you've done all that schooling, you should have about 1,040 hours of time in with ArcGIS for desktop. And our students, after 2 years, would have an estimated of 213 hours working with ArcGIS for desktop and ArcGIS Online. Some problems that I faced with ArcGIS for desktop entry level exam. There's about 40 sample questions available to prepare students with. MSD had to hire item writers to make a bank of similar questions to share with teachers. ESRI does not disclose what is considered a passing score. ESRI gives a pass or a fail rating by category and doesn't share how many of the items were scored correctly or incorrectly. The tests and software change faster than schools can adequately train and resource teachers. So you can see that this over on the left-hand side, that is an administration that I took in March of 2018 to get familiar with the test. And then by the time my students were ready to take it the next year, 10.3 wasn't even around anymore. And the areas that are being assessed are very similar, but when they took their exam on May 23rd, there was a much greater emphasis on data editing and manipulation. So that might have had a partial impact on their outcomes. So again, the score report from ESRI just tells you if you passed or failed, and none of my students were able to get the pass rating. But I did want to show you some of the formative data. So I created 2 mock exams that they took just a couple days before, so we can get an idea of how good the assessments are and what kind of progress they made. Certainly visualization was their strongest point here. They got more than 50% of those questions right. And when they took another mock exam a few days later, visualization was still their strong point. So this data shows that they've learned something beyond random guessing in all these areas with ArcGIS for desktop. I was able to take students to Towson University, Howard University, the World Trade Center, and the 9/11 Memorial, Mercy College in Westchester County, the Spy Museum, and Prince George's County Emergency Operations Center during my 3 years as a CTE teacher. Programs that let students hear, see, and feel what it is to be college students are real game changers. These students are getting to see the connection between their CTE program and their future college studies. During this visit to Towson, Dr. Virginia Thompson, the geography department chair, and a colleague in her department gave a lesson on scale and satellite imagery interpretation. I'm gonna move this stuff. There we go. Okay. So this is the conclusion of my presentation. I hope that you will reach out to me if you have any questions, if you can give me some feedback on how this model might be improved, and really how important this sort of thing is to the GIS industry. I would love to hear your opinion on that matter. Thank you.